Looks like the Crimson King has some things to say about today's market. Make sure you guys smash the link crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So this is relatively interesting to see here. Discount code MK40 will save you on your purchase, but Solemn Accusations and Dominus Sparks have left the room, which is quite interesting to say, because both of these have been doing very, very great. Also appears Rahamu's also been disappearing. So I am not surprised to see, like the value being generated here. Also looks like Harmonia is also moving on along here as well. But yes, discount code MK40 will still save you on your purchase over here. Kongs is also kind of in the same boat right now. A lot of the expected high-end cards have vanished. Fada Dragna also still left here, and of course Rahamu still moving along. Good old super duper polymerization, one of the best cards in the entire set, but discount code MK40 is going to save you on your purchase on anything that you're going to want from this set. There's definitely some tools to be had over here. So the Crimson King structure deck. So this is still very interesting. I mean, Crimson Gaia did get the reprint. We did see a little bit of a fall down in some of the value that was being had along the way, which I think was nice. But these structure decks are still $18 a structure deck. If you want to play some of these cards, I mean, like Soul or Bone Archfiend's still going to be $4, which is a little bit rough. But then, the Soul Resonator is also up there. Soul Resonator, so being able to go Crimson King into the Soul Resonator and have the Soul Resonator be able to add a Fiend, that's what, level 4 or lower. This card has some broken synergy in the Chaos deck. Being able to Mind Shuffle, being able to bring this out, Albaz into the Crimson King to bridge packages, yeah. It's very, very good. Vision Resonators are still 2s. I mean, the Red Dragons are up there. Crimson Gaias have actually fallen back down in value. The fact that they did reprint a couple of things within this product is definitely a big help. Nobody's going to be disappointed with that knowledge. Enneacraft. So we finally are getting the last little bit of the Enneacraft good stuff to kind of line up so that we can play this. This deck is kind of budget, actually. I will say, though, if you're going to play Enneacraft, you're really not going to have fun playing the deck. You're just choosing to play Enneacraft because it looks fun. Would be the only real reason, because, it's kind of annoying to have to deal with. Looks like right now, $4 Mars. You can get the releases pretty cheaply. Let's go correctly high to low here. Yeah, whales are $20 Starlights. That's crazy. Arca Tails are 25s. Releases are 17s. Collector Rare whales are 10s. Honestly, this deck is extremely cheap. The Super Rare Reverse are also dollars. So that was something I just wanted to bring up and say, if you're kind of looking for a cheap budget deck, once again, it's very hard to play. It'll annoy you, but you definitely have some things to consider with that. Grand Soil. How many times do we have to deal with the old format pickups? Because this seems to happen a lot. So Grand Soil, of course, right? Psychic's old format. Incredibly powerful card. $10. Just the last little couple of days, a few copies of these moved. This was already a card that was dwindling down in quantities. So, when we kind of go through here and we see, oh, hey, quantities of these are disappearing again, it looks that way. It's also crazy because, we truly only have 2 prints of Grand Soil. That's crazy to think about. No wonder why the Secret Rare is going up. The Power Patrons. So, and I'll keep saying this every video, but you probably should keep an eye on how the Doom Z stuff is kind of keeping up versus the rest of this, because it really does appear that our market is seeing some of this stuff pushing on along and actually doing decently well. I mean, these are $46 a piece. Power Patron Nervas are 48s. What is this? The Secret Rares are 20s now for Jupiter. That's kind of crazy. These are now up. It's also crazy because this is now a $5 card. There was a time where you could get these at dollars, and they were no real problem whatsoever. Which, okay, well, that's the world of Power Patrons, I guess. Suddenly, these cards are gaining a lot of value. The Jupiter also moving along here as well. Toon table contents. Keep an eye on every version of Toon Table. We've already seen the OCG is extremely hyped up about Toons. Like, genuinely, this deck seems like it's going to be pretty fun, to say the least. I know a lot of people are just going to be absolutely dumbfounded by how these continue to go, but these are $4 a piece. They've been moving on along 7s, and they've just been doing their thing. Obviously, you know, you get in here, obviously, the TP6s are going to be more expensive. The gold rare is still kind of coming in about 6s. Commons still have some value. And then, of course, the speed duel versions are like 3s. You know, I'm glad to say, though, that, like, no matter how time is gone, though, at least these are still going to be reliable until somebody gets the crazy idea. Like, at least Toon Tables from Tournament Pack 1 for speed duel are populated. You know, you're not really going to lose anything too crazy on those. So that's a W. Golden Rule. I'm actually, like, a little bit intrigued by this. Golden Rules. I actually kid you not here. These are actually hitting the $3 to $4 mark right now, which is good stuff, honestly. Like, I don't know who wanted to see this deck become a little bit better, but it's actually happening, people. So good job at this. There's still some decent surprises left within the market, especially, you know, for Crystal Beast decks in general. But Golden Rule was that card that was aimed to make this deck super consistent, or at least a little bit more recognizable within the format structuring. Legendary Modern decks. I was curious to see, like, how these have kind of been holding up for sealed. You can thank every person in the world here. You can buy every one of these decks. So say you don't want to spend $32. I don't know why you wouldn't want to just spend $32, but X-Saber's $9 plus $7 shipping, Mitsurugi 16, Sky Striker's also $18. I guess if you needed an extra deck and you didn't want to buy any of the others, but they've been populating, obviously, for you to get your thing. Unopened damage box. I mean, sure, for $25, that's not terrible. 3 bricks, all available for $30. You know, you don't get the promo card, but it looks like 33. Then you actually do jump up to like 35 here. Obviously, are these moving at a decent pace? Yeah, these actually do turn over. I see that $20 for both Sky Striker and Mitsurugi. Okay, I mean, some people are going to take a look at this and go, it's a pretty decent deal. I don't actually hate that either. You can get both the Mitsurugi and the Sky Striker deck for $20. Okay. Honestly, save yourself some money. Get them shipped to you if you don't want the X-Saber deck. You know, especially if, like, you're a starting out player. Okay. Contrast Hero Chaos. This guy actually has calmed down a lot. I'm still of the working theory that we're going to see a Starlight for this in the upcoming battle set when they print the Vision Hero, because it just doesn't make sense for a card that how many of these different decks actually need. You know, I think it makes sense for Konami to want to push this out in a higher rarity, but it looks like still $4 to $5 a copy here if you want. I love the Mash Change alt arts down here coming in at $23 a piece. So crazy. Forbidden Crowns. Crowns have actually been doing decently well, but I will say this, kind of processing through the weekend here. You have one cheap listing at $45, another $46. You eventually see the $49 listing here, you know, populating upwards. I would not be surprised if you do see this, you know, crack away and actually vanish. I'm not, like, wanting to say that, you know, this card's going to be back to $50, but I would say probably as the weekend unfolds here, don't be surprised come Monday, Tuesday, if Crown is suddenly a $50 card again. You know, take your fire cells where you get them, because people really like seeing these cards a lot cheaper, and that's actually kind of nice. Also, this is kind of crazy. Cybernetic Revolution boxes have spawned on TCG Player. Now, you're probably like, oh, okay, well, one listing for $3,000. Yeah, sure, Robbie, whatever. Nobody's going to spend that. You're right. Everybody bought all the $2,000 boxes instead. Over the last 2 weeks, 1930, 1934, 1939.99, they've moved. They have vanished. And honestly, kind of impressed with that. I got to give them some credit here, because we're definitely in a time right now where this has gotten a little bit crazy. So good job, market. You're absolutely doing what I thought you would do. Absolutely hovering over the good old vintage stuff. So leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here and dig out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.